A lot of off-season acquisitions. Where do you feel like you are with your team right now?
We're in a good spot. I mean, we knew going into last summer and the end of last season that there would be a lot of change. This club's in a moment of transition, but now we're ready to rise. We've turned the page and we're looking forward to a new era of Rein. We've held on to clearly a lot of the tradition. When you have Laura as your coach and players like Lou Barnes and Jess Fishlock, who are originals in this club, thankfully you have sort of a thread of the DNA remaining, but there's always going to be change in professional sports, and we're in a moment of a lot of change with those three in particular anchoring us to who we really are and who we've always been, which is a cool place to be honest.
Would you consider this a rebuild, or would you consider that you're in a place to compete?
Yeah, we're definitely in a place to compete. If you look at this league from top to bottom, year in and year out, whatever happened the previous year, you can throw out the window and it's a new season. So we're always going to be in it to compete. But we have our eye on the right now, the near future and the distant future. And I think we've set ourselves up to be able to start to really build in a positive way and have some consistency and some certainty around the roster in particular.
Obviously, bringing in a big name is such a huge part of bringing in fans and getting eyeballs on your team.
Right.
What was the impetus for bringing in specifically Lynn Biondolo?
Yeah, Lynn Biondolo, formerly Williams, was someone who we had been eyeballing for a little while, to be honest, and we had an inkling that she might want to get back to the West Coast. And so, last year, not scoring a ton of goals, not being a big threat, not really stretching teams, she's a perfect fit. Obviously, her resume speaks for itself. I think the people that know Lynn know what she brings to a locker room and to a club. The people that don't know her will soon find out the impact that she has, not just on the field, but off the field. She's just a wonderful person to be around. So it was a big acquisition for us, obviously, and we can't wait to see the impact that she can have.
I just want to talk about the impact that you and this club and that you all have just kind of on this community. I mean, just last weekend, you had another one of your games against the UW women. I know that's actually really near and dear to your heart. Why is stuff like that just so important to you in this club?
Yeah, I think the club, leaving Memorial, going to Tacoma, coming back to Seattle, COVID somewhere in the middle of all of that, I just think bringing back and growing our fan base is going to be really important. Continuing to reconnect with the community is going to be important. And obviously, looking at players that are local players like Shea and like Olivia Vondriat from UW and other players that play in this community, to bring them onto our team is always going to be something we're looking at as a connection. You've seen it on the men's side and you've seen it on our side. That Seattle's a soccer city, and we want to make sure that we are rooted here and that we continue to build that in every aspect. So it's exciting, and the show, the turnout for the game last weekend was just another indication that people are watching, people are interested, and people love women's soccer in this town.
And as you turn the page to your home opener tomorrow night, you say it is a soccer city. How much do you expect the fans to turn out for your game tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think early in the season, it's usually a little bit of a slow roll, which isn't, I don't love. But our job as a club is to make sure that, and my job is to make sure that the product on the field is something people want to come in person and experience. And I guarantee you that the more they get a look at them, the more they start to latch on, that they'll come back. And so I'm hopeful that there's a decent turnout tomorrow, but even more so that what we put on the field is indicative of what's going to be on the field this year, and that people start to turn out in droves. And I think it'll be a quick build. So we're excited. Our faithful, our loyal fans will be here. We're hoping to build and bring in new faithful, and just, we want the word to be out there that the Rein are at Lumen. We play tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against Gotham, a team that we're, for a lot of different reasons, extremely familiar with. We mentioned before Lynn coming into the club, and they've got a couple on their side that were here previously, and Lynn signing on with us for 3 years through 2027 is a big deal. Getting Cassie Miller, a top-notch goalkeeper from Gotham, was a big signing for us as well, in addition to all the other additions we had to the roster. So it's exciting. I'm telling people now they're going to want to come watch this team.
Anything else you'd like to add that I didn't touch on?
Just that preseason, I think one of the things that varied between last year and this year, was being able to have our whole roster in for preseason. Last year we were waiting on visas, we were waiting on signings and paperwork, and a lot of our internationals, then there was a break. We didn't get them all in until after that. So being together during the preseason, I think some people have watched the Cloak and Crown, the little mini series, a game that, sort of team building that we did down at Coachella, and that stuff matters as far as the cohesion of the team, the leadership of the team from top to bottom, and just the way that new players have been embraced has been really exciting for us to see. And I think that bit of time while we've been forming in the preseason is going to start to show up in a positive way on the field. So we're excited about it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming out.